Hey everyone, it's Deri here, helping you live a life of no regrets and build a business and a career of no regrets. So, what does no regrets truly mean? Well, let me ask you a question. If you were to go out today, if you went out into the street and you were knocked over by a bus, a car, a taxi, wherever you are in the world, whatever that vehicle may be for you, if you went out right now and you went to meet your maker, whoever that may be for you, are you happy with the conversation you're about to have? When you reflect back over your life right now from this moment, when you reflect back in the past, are you happy with what you've done? Or would you go out with some regret? Is there some stuff, there's unfinished things that you want to do in this lifetime? Is there other unsaid things you want to say? What does that look like for you? Now, I think we all live in a turbulent world right now, and we realize that I think we're really starting to wake up to this preciousness that we've got, which is called life. And this is what no regrets is all about. Now, it sounds like a morbid question, but it's not. It's a question of life, not death. It's how do we live now? And if we don't question how we live now, might be too late by the time we work that out. So my story began over a decade ago with my father. I'm not going to spoil that for you. I'm going to give a link to a video below which gives that story a little bit more. But on the death of my father is what inspired my story of no regrets. Because sadly, my father went out with a load of regret. And I just swore to myself that wouldn't happen to me. Now, that is where I elicited this whole story in a TEDx, which has huge success, and I'm usually humbled by it. It was something I got roped into last minute to do with a dear friend of mine who was on the stage with me, and I got to close out the Edinburgh TEDx conference, and it was just a very flippant aside play on my speaking called F*** the fear. It's not real anyway. So amazing I got away with that title, by the way, but don't panic, I don't swear once. You have to watch the video to work out what I do with the F words on that one. But that video is a huge success now, over 150,000 views as I'm filming this. And we've had so much questions and people interacting with us to get deeper, because what I cover in the TEDx is fear. Now, this goes back to a point last year. This is 2016 when I'm filming this, and in 2015 I climbed Mount Everest, or didn't, as the case may be, because whilst we were up there, the earthquake struck. You might remember the earthquake in Nepal last year. Well, I was one of several who was the highest people on the mountain that day on the north face of Everest when the earthquake hit. Now, I looked death in the eye that day in a serious way. And the beautiful moment I had on that mountain post the earthquake was being very close to death once again, and looking death in the eye, I actually could look back on my life and realize I had no regret. Now, that was a profound moment for me, but I understand, please understand that this is not a look at me, I've got a wonderful life. That is a decade of hard work and architecting my life for no regrets. Now, if you'd have asked me that question 12 years ago, post my father's death, I would have gone out not a happy chappy, with so many regrets in so many different areas in my life. And one of those big ones was adventure, by the way. I realized that I wanted to travel the world and experience the best this world has to offer through adventure. I've subsequently climbed 5 of the highest mountains in the world on the 7 summits, run 6 marathons across the Sahara Desert, and done an Ironman, and I continue the adventure, which was a big part of the Everest piece last year. So I really have lived life fully in all areas. I've built the businesses that I'm proud of, the right businesses, the true businesses of true no regrets for me. So it's been a hell of a decade and a beautiful adventure. But then to look back on my life at that Everest and go, no regrets, was the pinnacle. And now I'm trying to share that message on. So what did I do in those 10 years? What was my discovery in those 10 years to get to that point of no regrets? Well, that's what I want to share with you in this series. So, because what I've done is I've actually done a load of research into this, not just my view, because I have a view and I thought, well, that's just Deri's view. So we instigated research on 20 of the top studies on regrets around the world, and that's what I want to share with you. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this series, and we're going to kick off with what those 6 regrets. I've distilled all of the research out there, bringing my own personal flavor on top of that as well, and it's the 6 regrets of life. We're going to share those with you in the first video, and then we're going to take each one of those regrets deeper, to really challenge you to think through and really step up and live a life of no regrets. It's not the easy journey, but I can promise you it's a profound one. So click below. There's a link below which is going to give you a link to the TEDx. If you haven't seen it, go and see the TEDx. I'm very proud of that TEDx for a number of reasons, but one of which there was a massive technical failure during it. So it was a good day for me to actually get through adversity yet again, but this time on a speaking platform. So the TEDx will guide you through the fear piece. And we're also going to give you access to Life's Great Adventure, which was my first book that I wrote a while back. This was pre the Everest story. This takes you through the early mountains and the Marathon des Sables, etc., and really questions you. At the end of each chapter, we really take you on your own journey of discovery. And that's just my gift to you. I've decided we bought the rights off the publishers, and we decided to gift that out to you as part of this series. So click below, you're going to get access to the book. Go and watch the TEDx, and come and join me on this journey of no regrets.